For a bit while we do the spiel. 2 minutes left till it is tournament time. Lots of visible graphic fixes coming up. The game will never be the same. Easy. Is this the last Clan Rat tournament for 3.0? A bit while we do the spiel. Yes, in a way. Yeah. So all weekend tournaments from the history of ever on the weekends are in the European friendly time zone, where it's like in Europe it's, you know, late afternoon, early evening kind of thing. And for North American people, especially on the West Coast, I don't live there, but a lot of North American players are on the West Coast. That's at like 9 in the morning, and most of them don't get up in time, so they miss a lot of weekend tournaments. And I thought, you know, I could host a weekend tournament at night. Would Saturday be a better night for it? Yeah, but I had originally, when I scheduled this, planned to do shit Saturday with my parents for my birthday. That was a while ago. It's not today. Stop saying happy birthday. Anyway, my birthday was a little bit ago. Was going to have lunch with them. Got COVID. Got sick as shit. But the tournament's still on Sunday. Right. Anyway, so late night. This is the last one before the playoffs. The playoffs, I know what weekend they're going to be on. Still working on what the prize is going to be because of, like, right now money is hard, right? It's money to just chuck at the prize pool when there's that cheat mod rolling around that not a lot of people use. But once you put a ton of money on something, people are going to sweat really hard, so they might get that cheat mod that we can't detect if it's happening at all. There's like Smurf accounts. The game's been dead for a little bit, so not a lot of people have been playing the Vermin League to get their appropriate scores, so maybe the playoff brackets will be kind of fucked. So like this season's a bit of a wash. I'll do a prize of some kind. I'm just trying to figure out what it is besides just like cash prize, fuck yeah. But that'll be the first weekend in April. We'll knock it out, finish season 3, and then with the Chaos Dwarf DLC coming out, we'll start season 4. So good turnaround there. This is the last casual tournament sort of deal, right? Did the spiel, bought some times. Sorry, somebody just typed to me about a thing. So I'm going to take you over and look at the brackets for tonight. Not a ton of people awake at this hour, but we do got a couple going here. 7 out of 9 have checked in for this Game Enslaved through Clan Rats. That is the lower tiers of the ladder, though I think it's like 50 or 60% of the player base because, you know, there's less people in the top brackets. And then for the Storm Vermin Grey Seer tournament, currently have 4 people signed up. I'm not sure if Raced is awake. We'll see. But these other 3 are NA gents. This should be fine. We'll start with this tournament. The other one starts an hour later. It'll probably start while we're still casting this one. We'll cast this one all the way to the end, and we'll jump in on the other one wherever it happens to be at that moment. Right? Right. It's 6:01. This thing sometimes is really slow about switching the check-ins over, so I'll just do it. Check-ins are processed. We're going to shuffle them on stream right in front of y'all so everybody sees there's no cheating. You get what you get for an opponent. 1, 2, 3. Shuffles are good, so it's Boojilicious versus Aaron, Mr. Teufel, and John FB. Fat Kid at Recess, 80 Ruda, and Hardress Warrior gets a bye round. Seems legit. Start tournament. Boom. I have a ping. Is it... Okay. Just making sure it wasn't someone like, I just missed the check-in. It's like every goddamn time. Cool. 7 people, 1 out of 7 chance I picked the winner. I think my tournament favorite is going to be the John FB. We love John FB. He's great. He is great at video games. He beat me in a best of 5 in the BBB tournament. So, of course, he's going to win it all. Out of these 3 games, watch one of them. If you give a shit, start shouting it out in the chat. Otherwise, if I don't see a hard favorite, I'll probably go with Teufel and John FB. Those are... I don't know where Teufel stacks up against Booj. Booj has been playing a shit ton, but I think like Hardress Warrior, John FB are probably the 2 best players here. Booj has been practicing his ass off. I don't know. Recess has been in the chat a lot, but I don't know how much he's been playing. 80 Ruda has been grinding the shit out of Vermin League. So I guess it's a hard call, but I'll stray towards Teufel and John unless I see chat pop off for something else. And I'm just going to tell people... And this is open for check-in. Sabris, Raced. I'm trying to go off the top of my head, the 4 people that were there. Umbrella was in there. And Kind of surprised Blood Penguin didn't sign up its platypus. Gotcha. Gotta get his ass in there. Okay. So I'll check out the chat. It's not my goddamn birthday. The prize will be a legendary Panzer model stream. I was thinking of just buying people that won different models. So like tabletop models, even if you don't play tabletop. So like if you win the Skaven Slave tournament, you might get like a Tretch model. If you win the Gracier tournament, you might get like Thankful or something. I'd have to figure out how to buy them and whatever. It's a little homework I have to do, but it's a physical prize. So then like, it's still something. You get something cool, you get something neat, but it's a lot harder for people to go super sweaty, cheating, try hard, and make Smurf accounts and all this shit for a miniature or two, as opposed to like $500. Dark horse for you. Easy. Oh wait, your predictions: Booge, John, Hardress for first, second, and Dark Horse. Oh, so you think Booge is going to take it all? Swiss piping with the Booge prediction, bold. All right, I'm not seeing anything in the chat, so we will hop in with John FB and Mr. Teufel. Sorry, I think I entered an old code, so now I have to wait for it to error out. There we go. Mr. Teufel, I met him in one of Zerkovich's tournaments. Nice guy. Then he popped around our scene, took a little bit of a break. A lot of people did. From the game, and now they have returned with the Chaos Dwarf promise in the future. We've been seeing a lot of new names, or new recent names, I guess. I've seen them before, but not in a very long time. So that's encouraging. It's always good to see old friends returning to the game. I don't think the game's been in that bad of a state, but there is frustrating stuff, and also it's kind of that, I don't know what to call it, but anyway, you know, like someone leaves the game because they say this game sucks now. Whether or not that's true, there's one less person playing the game, and then someone else says, oh, this game sucks, everybody's leaving, and then that person leaves. And even if not everybody was leaving, then the next person's like, well, those two left, so clearly everybody's leaving. And then soon it becomes true that everybody's leaving because you're all leaving, but not like the game's pretty all right, you know. There's my problems with it and whatever, but there's always been problems. There always have been. Dude, fucking Grom the Paunch and Triple Stone Troll with a River Troll Hag was literally Greenskins meta, and Greenskins were A or S tier for almost 2 years. Like, this meta's getting stagnant for sure. I don't argue that at all. But I remember the dark times. I do. Dark Elves Norsca it is. I hope you didn't put any money on you. Oh, I put $1 million on you, buddy. He was not a bad player during Warhammer 2 times. He also does play a good amount of High Elves, so Knighthood, you would like him. You would. Norsca Dark Elves, good start. A lot of Dark Elves. I played Kropep today for an ODM tournament. Sorry. Someone messaged me about tournament stuff. I was playing Kropep for a best of 3 tournament today, and I went 0-2 against Dark Elves. And you might be like, hey, how is that possible that someone played Dark Elves twice in the same best of 3? They didn't. They baited me into picking Dark Elves because I'm a dumbass. So it's like, it was literally the gamer moment, right? This guy picks Dark Elves into me, and I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Picking Dark Elves, picking the meta faction. All right, okay, that's fine. Okay. Pick Empire. He takes like literally just bleak swords and dread spears. Like, he played great. All right, this story is for humorous purposes. I'm not trying to slander the guy. He played great, super nice dude. And he lands Malekith butt-ass naked into some spears, into some Empire spearmen. He sits there, he takes a shower in the blood of my men, and I'm like, bro, the silver bullets and a cannon and Sterling's Revenge, armor-piercing missiles, all of them, are staring at you. And Malekith, he has no cold ones around him. He has no one to block the shots. He lands on my spearman, gives me the middle finger, and starts showering. So I light his ass up. I shoot him with like 4 or 5 volleys from each handgunner and the cannon. He is fine. Big chillin'. Flies away. Bleak swords and dread spears murder all my guys. They slow push through my front line, kill everybody. It's awful. I get mad. I go, okay, I can play Dark Elves too. So game 3, I played Dark Elves. And then Skinks, basic Skinks, beat the shit out of all my bleak swords and dread spears. All of them die. It was worthless. I played them like shit because I don't know how to play Dark Elves very well. It was terrible, and I got baited. And I was like, ugh, that motherfucker. He made it look so easy. These guys suck. No, I don't. They don't suck. It's just you do have to know how to play them correctly, and I got a little overconfident and just picked them. I'm like, yeah, everybody's picking fucking Dark. You know what? Let's just pick some Dark. Oh shit. Oh no. Not my elf-speaking bias. Yeah, there are a lot of good parts about the meta. And Bjorn especially, Bjorn's been on stream a couple times. Bjorn like makes a good point that like Dark Elves have some really interesting play patterns, some interesting builds, some really cool units. The problem with it is just like, it's been the same stuff for a while, and it's like, it's not like Malekith and Malice are inherently bad and the meta is inherently bad. It's just like, all right, I've seen 300 of this exact game. I'm good. Can we switch it up a little bit? But the introduction of Witch Elves has been really nice. It really switches things up. So, Mr. Teufel takes 2 Scourge Runners. Very strong, very boo, very not cool. Mr. Teufel clearly just a meta gamer. With the Ravens, Heralds, Repeater Crossbows, boo. See him every game. Lokir Fellheart up on his dragon, boo. Again, meta slave, absolute scum of the earth. Can't believe him. 2 Dark Riders with shields, 1 Cold, 1 Knight, a Dark Shard, triple Blackheart Corsair, and a Firecaster. Huh. Interesting. Memes aside, this is actually a pretty cool build. For John FB and Norsca, we have a bunch of hounds, some of them ice, some of them not. Looks like 4 Skin Wolves, Wulfric the Wanderer on horseback with his full kit, and then Marauders and Marauder Champions, along with a Shaman Sorcerer of Metal with Plague of Rust and Searing Doom. Meanwhile, some Dark Riders get caught sleeping a little bit, and you can't afford to do that versus these Norscan Ice Wolves. They are up and coming in the meta. I don't know who started it, but I know Strat Game was a big part of this development. They have Frostbite, and they're stupid fast because they're dogs. So if they catch you, you're just never getting away, and those Dark Riders felt that firsthand. Meanwhile, Cold Knights take a charge with the Skin Wolves, and while they do get good damage out, a little bit of that supporting fire from the Shaman Sorcerer of Metal is going to swing this in the Skin Wolves' favor. And the Skin Wolves have 18 and 21 models, so they're chilling. Their leadership sucks right now, but they'll regen, they'll be fine. With Lokir diving down, though, we are about to get some terror outs in there. And the Dark Elves, having a bad time. Their backline is entirely overrun. A Seafang just deletes the Dark Shards. The dogs don't even need to run in there to shut down the Dark Elf shooting, and things are looking real scary right now for the Druchii. They're just not... Druchii, whatever, it doesn't matter. They're not having a good time. Marauders and Marauder Champions fighting the Dreads, the Blackheart Corsairs, but these Scourge Run Chariots are going to have a tough time. That is just too many bodies. That's too many fast things that will track them down. And you can see once that slow hits, these Scourge Run Chariots only have 46 speed because of the Norscan Ice Wolf slow. Oof, that's going to be really tough for them. Yeah. Trying to find positive outlooks for the Dark Elves. Now, Lokir is healthy, Lokir is completely fine, and he is an amazing duelist. He's going to have to find Wulfric or something, because he can't just land in these Skin Wolves. We saw Malekith even die to that, and that dude has Soul Stealer to try and bail himself out of bad situations, but landing in Skin Wolves just doesn't really work out. Taking out a Shaman's Caster can be pretty good, and a Burning Head will roast down a lot of these dogs. So good counters here from the Dark Elves. Has almost entirely finished off the Shaman Sorcerer of Metal. Gonna want to get off the ground before Wulfric gets here. Because you don't... I mean, you could do a Wulfric, but the problem is that he's probably not going to be alone looking around here. Blackheart Corsair is trading all right into Marauder Champions. Better than I honestly would have expected, so good for them. The Raven's Herald is shooting at Skin Wolves right now. Probably not the best target for them. Since these guys are low on HP, that means their leadership's also pretty low. Lokir can deal with them himself. You probably want to shoot more high health things. Scourge Chariot's getting shut down. You know, the Searing Doom, honestly doing about the same damage to Marauder Champions as Dreadspear, so a little unfortunate there from the Norsca caster. Scourge Chariots are routing, getting pushed off. The Raven's Heralds are fine, they're safe. There's literally nothing that can threaten them. There's no range, there's no flying units from Norsca on the battlefield. So they're safe. The only problem is that damn ammunition. They only have 6 volleys left already, so they'll really have to figure out what they want to shoot. And I do think it is Skinwolves. It's probably the healthy Skinwolves, because Wulfric can't outduel Lokir. Lokir, like, as much of a meme as he is, the things you have to be serious about is that Lokir is an insane duelist. Dreaded Duelist is an awesome ability. He also gets plus 10 melee defense and regen when he's in melee. He's a really, really good duelist. So he's not that scared of Wolfheart. The only thing he is scared of is not fighting a duel, fighting like an 1,000,000 versus 1 with Skinwolves. We'll see what Mr. Teufel wants to do about that. Shaman Sorcerer Metal is so low. I kind of hope something takes him out. Maybe one volley from the Raven's Herald, or Lokir dives him real quick. Another Searing Doom. Ooh, Searing Doom plus a Sea Fang that hits 2 for 1, and the last of the Dark Elves support might be on its way out. Balance power is slightly Norsca favored, and I do tend to agree. We have Beasts of Tashnar and Norscan Ice Wolves cornering the last Dark Rider that won't be coming back at all. And as soon as you lose your mobility prowess, as any faction, but as the Dark Elves, it's like, yeah, you can get Norsca to route a bunch of times, but they can always come back because you can't chase them off the map, meaning you're going to have to route them multiple times, and you're dealing with units that have regen, which will also make it harder to really punish them. So losing any mobile presence on the map is real tough for the Dark Elves. Do have a bit of a final fight. Lokir is on the ground. I wonder if we get a big burning head down the line here to lower all their leadership enough to maybe get a mass terror out. That could be something I see. Yeah, all right. I'm a genius. It's okay. You don't have to say it. It's even Overcast, which is going to do a lot of damage. Buy Lokir all the space he needs. Wulfric's taking a lot of damage, and Lokir is slowly regenerating as best he can. But, ooh, there's an Overcast Plague of Rust bringing his armor down to 0. Good God. And he just gets taken down by Wulfric and all the Skinwolves. The Overcast Burning Head was really nice, but it just wasn't enough to save him. And Norsca with the flag I legitimately have never seen before. Take the W. Lokir is not meta, no. I was joking. I was being a shitter, as is my birthright. Scourge Runners did all right. There was just way too much Norsca mobility to run them down. Lokir honestly did okay. The problem is Malekith could have gotten about as much value, maybe more with Soul Stealers and stuff, and you don't have to pay for an extra caster, but Lokir did all right, all things considered. Raven's Herald did awesome. Blackheart Corsairs, horribly outmatched and getting Searing Doom cast on them. Considering all that, they did fine. Dark Shards got instantly shut down. Dark Riders also got shut down very quickly. So it was a tough game for the Dark Elves. You know, aside from John FB, Wulfric was living his best life, having his day in the sun. Metalcaster also did nicely. Considering how low he got super early, he still got a ton of value. Marauder Champions didn't have a ton of value to acquire, and they didn't get it. So it's hard to be that harsh on them. Skills did okay. Dogs did great. GG's. He's 2,900 expensive. That is 500 more expensive than Malekith with the kit you usually take him. Which is very expensive. You know, I didn't put up the tent because I thought it was getting close enough to nighttime because it's 6 p.m. I thought that back window wouldn't be so bright, so now my face wouldn't be just shadows. I was wrong. So we might need the tent. I admit that I do cheer whenever Dark Elf loses in your replay commentaries out of principle. Alright, we're going to get the tent. BRB, it looks like we have Empire versus High Elves. A matchup that I used to be comfortable in. And then all of a sudden, I just don't know what to do about Emmerich. So, we'll see what John does. All right. Where are the holes? Where? one. How we doing? They're not ready for me just yet, which is fine. Hello, kitty cat. There. Kitty, I was literally just taking this chair. Whatever. It's your chair now. Or shut the door. What you gonna do about that, bud? There, that looks a lot better, right? My face isn't a shadow anymore. Guess it's a little bit of one. I don't have the room light on, is that it? That's better. What is this, amateur hour? It's hard to notice on the shitty little camera, but I fully shaved my face for the first time in like 6 or 7 months. I almost always have that. Like, I just, every week, I cut it down to that 5 o'clock shadow, and then it grows out a little bit, then I cut it down to 5 o'clock shadow. But some of the slower growing aspects... You good, bud? What are you doing? Sorry, cat's being dumb. Some of the slower going aspects, like my mustache, and I don't know. It just like, it wasn't looking good. It wasn't looking right. So every time after I shaved, like the mustache would be longer than the sides, and I didn't like that. So I had to cut it all off and redo. And I really don't. I don't like not having any facial hair. It's weird. My face felt cold when we were walking Hazel. I'm like, what the fuck? Why is my face cold? Human boy's beard is cut by treacherous algae. Nah. Algae are the most trustworthy. They pay me to say that, and that's how you know it's the truth. Oh, we got Toddy. Why do we have Toddy? What is the point of Toddbringer here? I am so scared. You have no idea. Imric is gonna body this man. The cat took my gaming chair now. How's it going, bud? You good? You good? Whoa. Come up here, hang out with us. Come up here. You look nice? Thanks. Doing my best. Feels like a naked rat, yeah. Indeed, takes away a chunk of gold from your pocket. Hello! Hello, little kitty. I put you in the way of my screen, and now I'm having a hard time seeing the armies, but we will proceed. So Boris Todbringer, to explain my little mini shitty moment there, Boris Todbringer is an excellent lord. I like him or Balthasar Gelt currently are what I use for the Empire. Gelt, if I want to go wide and just use a metal caster. Boris, if I am punishing low leadership factions, such as demons, because if you can get that demonic instability crumbling going, they will just die. So Boris really lowers that threshold with his -8 leadership for everybody around him. Boris is really good at dealing with demons, so I like him a lot for that. The problem is a lot of Boris's stuff is about punishing low leadership. Because if your leadership gets lower, he actually has another -4 leadership and minus melee defense. But versus High Elves, they are, besides Dwarves, maybe the highest leadership faction in the game. So it's really hard to get their leadership low to get your benefits from Boris. Outside that, he's kind of a support lord. Like, he's not a fantastic duelist. He's not a fantastic crowd clearer, but he's really good at running around and chain routing stuff, except the High Elves are gonna be pretty juiced up. They're gonna be hard to rout off. All right, kitty cat, you're getting lots of love, and that's nice, but you're also getting a little twitchy, which usually means you're about to get bitey. I'm gonna put you down. Okay. So, aside from that, the build is set up. We have the Silver Bullets, ROR handgunners, magic damage, armor piercing, and stock. 2 huntsmen, 1 mortar, a light wizard with Foz protection, that is the melee defense and armor spell, net of Amnatok, and then a shitload of state troops, swordsmen, spearmen, Sigmar's sons, and some Empire Knights, 4 of them. The High Elves do not like Empire Knights. That has always been true. They don't have cav that can effectively deal with Empire Knights. Dragon Princes can beat Empire Knights, sure, but not effectively. And by that I mean they'll take a bit of damage in return. It takes them a long time because they don't have armor piercing or anti-large. So Empire Knight's very good in this matchup. On the other side for the High Elves, it is a Ranger front line. Rare to see these days. I personally am a Ranger hater. I think that they are a pretty subpar unit, but some people like them, especially if you're getting aggressive with High Elves. 2 Dragon Princes, one of which is the Fireborn. We do have Imric on horseback with his Vuvuzela of Doom and the Lord of Dragons. A couple White Lions, a couple Lothern Seaguard. We do have a Life Caster with Earthblood and Regrowth, but no Dragon. No Dragon for the High Elves, which is interesting. As is typical with the High Elf roster, it feels like they are horrifically outnumbered. It feels like they left 3,000 gold at home, and somehow they're going to have to fight from that deficit of pure bodies. They will usually do so with higher stat units. We'll just have to see if they're higher stat enough. Huntsmen and Handgunners trying to punish the Dragon Princes and Imric wherever they go. Meanwhile, the Empire frontline is holding, though. We do get a White Lion of Christ that just manages to slink right through there and is now threatening the backline, though. John will pull up some spearmen to make sure that doesn't get too bad. And mortars are tearing apart Lothern Seaguard. Really good for them. This is a nice net if it's coming down to the Fireborn. Yep, nets them in place just to make sure that they can't cycle charge effectively, leaving them in this combat with a bunch of Empire Knights and Swordsmen. Now, it would be a little more effective if maybe one of the Empire Knights was going around behind them or something, but still, it's a decent shot. It'll hold them in place for these Huntsmen who are not firing for some reason. I wonder if they have Fire at Will off or if they just don't have orders. Don't really know what's going on there. But they are not shooting at the netted down Fireborn, which is a big problem. Meanwhile, Boris Todbringer with Lord of Dragons on him. He's down to 11 melee defense and feeling it. He is getting his ass handed to him right now. And he is maybe even going to route as a rear charge from the Life Wizard, who also throws down a heal. Pretty big stuff there. And the Huntsman moving forward now. Something is definitely going wrong with its attack orders or its line of sight, because it has not been offering support at all. And now it just walks into its death. Boris is almost dead. Empire Knights breach the backline. The mortars are harassing Lothern Seaguards. The High Elf shooting is shut down, but the High Elf build is mostly focused on their melee rush, their melee prowess to get through. Boris Todbringer straight up dead. The Fireborn, very, very healthy. So is Imric. So is the Life Caster that can keep healing them all up. And right now it is looking pretty doomed for the Empire. Lothern Seaguard even pushed back the Silver Bullets. The mortar is also under threat. And while your ranged assets deal with the White Lions with a good net, honestly, that was a good net, but it just means that more and more stuff is going to break through the straight tube front line. It's looking like a quick GG for the High Elves. Love some Tiny Dahadi. Yeah, something was going on with those Huntsmen. My guess, without being in the game, would be they, for some reason, the Fire at Will turned off. So they were slow to actually start punishing the Dragon Prince blob. And then when he did tell them to shoot the blob, it sometimes happens where if you click on something, but you miss the flag, and you try to click on the unit, but you click on the ground between two horses or something, you'll accidentally give a movement order instead of an attack order, because then the Huntsman started walking forward awkwardly. Like, that's probably what happened. Do I think that even if those Huntsmen had been firing at Dragon Princes in that moment, that the Empire would have won this game? No. Huntsmen don't have armor piercing. Dragon Princes have shields. There was healing nearby. Like, yeah. So I don't think it was that big of a mistake, but that's probably what happened there. Like I said going into this now, I don't want to pretend like, oh, the Empire player, super easy, this is what you do, and he did it wrong. I don't fucking know. I started avoiding this matchup like the plague as soon as Imric got brought into the mix, because I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how to deal with that. And some players bring war wagons, but I'm really bad with war wagons, and also I hate war wagons. I think they're boring. So I don't know. John FB also did not bring any war wagons. Without that, there just wasn't the arm-piercing DPS to deal with those Dragon Princes. The Rangers did push it through the front line pretty quickly. And it looked about as scary as I thought it would. And I'm glad I didn't have to try to learn this matchup, because that shit looks hard. Horse Imric, interesting choice. Still did pretty good work for being on a horse. 1,600 value. Nice stuff there. Almost 1,600 on the Fireborn as well. Other Dragon Princes, only 600, unfortunately for them. Life Mage did fine. White Lions did okay. Lothern Seaguard got shut down, honestly, pretty hard by the mortars and the cav, but Rangers did well. So it was all GG. Boris had a tough time fighting things that don't flee. They're not cowards, and that's a big old problem for him. Swordsman did okay, tried to hold. Mortar did excellently. Huntsman still did all right. Silver Bullets did all right. And Empire Knights were blockers. But they're not going to get a ton of value back. Gelt is probably the better pick here. Yeah, Plague of Rust could be. Plague of Rust can be really good. I keep forgetting how awesome that spell is, because it can make your Empire Knights do a lot of damage, because they don't have armor piercing, so if you just take the armor off of the Dragon Princes, they can... Because you can have almost 2 Empire Knights per Dragon Prince, cost-wise. So if you take that thing's armor away, it could be a huge trade for you. Hey, Vertical Cliff. White Lion of Christ. Sounds like an interesting semi-historical unit. Maybe Horse Imric is continuing as war wagons? Oh, that could be. Because Dragon Imric is a huge target for war wagons. It's almost impossible to dodge those shots on a dragon. Looks like last game is Warriors of Chaos versus High Elves. A little more High Elf action. I recently played this. I have been having an epiphany to have fun with Warriors of Chaos. I previously put Warriors of Chaos on my I don't enjoy this faction list, and I'm now enjoying them with one secret technology. Now, before I say this, I am not saying this technology is overpowered. I'm not saying it's going to win you a lot of games. I'm not saying it's better than Be'lakor. I'm not saying it's better than Archaon. What I've been doing recently that I have gotten a lot of fun out of, a lot of enjoyment out of, a lot of laughs, giggles, and sunshine out of, is Festus. And you might immediately think, Human Boy, no, not some degenerate blob. No, my friends, not a blob. Because what does Festus bring? That everybody knew he would bring, and every theory crafter said Warriors of Chaos are going to be OP because Festus brings this, but then nobody ever fucking tried it, is healing. He brings healing to the Warriors of Chaos roster. Take that bitch, give him Fleshy Abundance, take the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, ROR, the Summoners of Rage, take the Skull Crushers of Khorne, ROR, the Knights of the Brazen Throne, slap Fleshy Abundance on them whenever they get low on health, roll, just roll, and it's awesome. It's so much fun, because you throw the Summoners of Rage at, like, Imric when he lands, you get the Summoners of Rage on top of him, and Imric throws the Lord of Dragons on him, so Dragon Princes countercharge him. You walk Festus over, throw down his Mortis Engine, throw Fleshy Abundance on the Summoners of Rage, and you're like, what you gonna do, High Elves? And they're like, this is a problem. Most of this roster was balanced around not being able to heal. And Festus is like, yeah! It's so fun, man. I've been having a great time. I mean, yeah, you can degenerate blob with him, but that's not what I've been doing. I've just been using him to heal up this stuff that was like 100% not balanced around having healing accompanying it all. It's so good. And he benefits a lot from foot character bullshit, because who was I fighting? I was fighting somebody. High Elves versus Warriors of Chaos, and they ended up winning the game. It was really close, but they ended up winning. But Imric dove onto Festus like 3 or 4 times, and most of the time just couldn't hit him because he knocked him over, or his dragon couldn't quite focus on the infantry model. So, you know, he gets a lot of that infantry bonus. Same reason Sigvald's hard to kill, the same reason, you know, Marcus Wolfhard's hard to kill. Festus is the same way. So I mostly just leave him on his own. I'll give him the Mirror Guard or some Chaos Warriors to protect him, but mostly he's just relying on being a foot character to stay alive. That's good. It's a good time. The problem I keep running into is I take Fleshy Abundance and then the Stream of Corruption, and I get 1 Fleshy Abundance off pretty early in the game, and then I'm just out of Winds Magic for the rest of the game, and it feels really bad. Because it's like, oh, okay, I have 10 Winds of Magic, but I'm getting wrecked over here, so I gotta use it. And then 25 minutes will go by. Obviously, I'm exaggerating. 25 minutes will go by. Well, I have 11 Winds of Magic. I gotta use the Stream of Corruption, because I can't wait 25 minutes again to get another Fleshy Abundance, so I guess it's just that. So I think I gotta either take off Stream of Corruption so I don't have that impulse to keep casting it, or I don't know. Because he doesn't have Arcane Conduit. He doesn't have any power recharge buffs, which a lot of casters do, so your kind of mental clock about how long it takes to get Winds of Magic is really off with Festus, because he's terrible at regaining Winds of Magic. But it's fun. I've been having a blast running that kind of stuff. So, food for thought if you're in a quick battle. It's lost me more games than it's won, but I've enjoyed every single one. Would Aletha and R be any good here versus Warriors of Chaos? Maybe, but Imric's already super good here. There's no one on this roster that can outduel Imric. And besides Festus, they don't have healing. So you can kind of raffle stomp over him. I think a Lethanar would be fine, but I don't think he'd be the best option. I like With against Empire with some Dragon Princes who can actually kill Empire Cave. Yeah, Miss Joyfully did good. Must be yesterday in America land still. That is correct, Doomsage. That is correct. Getting caught up on chat while these guys set up their armies real quick. Kolek with healing is a great idea. Kolek with healing, yeah, but he's the Lords. You can't have Festus, unfortunately. Imric is nothing. Alariel's where it at. Alariel is still really good. Okay. Not quite set up yet, but I can kind of start talking about Chaos. We do have a Hell Cannon. Mixed results on them recently, and sometimes they do really good. Sometimes they decide to miss every shot, so they are a bit of a gamble. But if they hit, they can do extreme damage, especially to High Elves who stand really, really close together. So Chaos Warriors, Halberds, Chaos Warriors in the back line, Marauders in the front line, quadruple Marauder Horsemen, 3 Horsemen, 1 Horse Master. We do have Chaos Knights with Lances, Archaon the Ever-Chosen with Spirit Leech and Searing Doom, and 2 Chaos Warhounds with Poison. Pretty simple, straightforward Warriors of Chaos build. The other side for the High Elves, we have Tyrion, Ervenarian, wielder of Sunfang, protector of Ulthuan, protector of the Phoenix Crown, etc., etc. We have the Storm Riders, Lothern Seaguard. Lothern Seaguard that have Firewall moving. Interesting. Other Lothern Seaguard, Pure Main Company, and more White Lions. Then we have some Silvering Guard, Spearmen, more Lothern Seaguard, Archers, Lothern Seaguard, Silvering Guard, and Spearmen. Okay. That is a lot of different spear type units, but okay. We have a Death Mage with Fate of Bjuna and Spirit Leech, and Tyrion. I did mention it's Tyrion, but I thought I'd bring it up again. He has Faint Riposte and Stand Your Ground. And then he has Heart of Averlorn, which you can't proc if he wanted to. But the thing with Tyrion that I always fuck up, but I know is correct, is you don't want to use Stand Your Ground and Faint and Riposte at the same time. Because his melee stats are going to get so insane that going from 100 to 124 isn't going to be that big of a deal. But if you stagger him, that's much better. Anyway, I digress. We are off. The High Elves immediately realizing there's a Hell Cannon. They're going to have to move up. And the Hell Cannon getting some decent shots in already. Looks like it's 3 for 3 on hits, and pretty good hits at that, so I'm sure they're quite happy. The Pure Main Company immediately plowing into some Marauders. They will easily beat those Marauders, absolutely melting them, so I have to see how that goes. But Archaon gets his first Searing Doom and is on 2 clustered units. Nice dodge at the last second there from John FB, taking very little damage from that. It was almost a really good 2 for 1. Seaguard starting to tee off, and a bit of a mistake here from Mr. Teufel coming in. His skirmish cavalry get caught up on the front line. That looks like they were aiming to shoot at something that was out of their range, so they just sprinted into these spearmen. They are going to have to back up, but it looks like his micro is elsewhere, focusing on Archaon and these dogs and such, and his skirmish cavalry paying a pretty bad price for that. Chaos Warriors and Halberds advancing. I like that decision tactically. You see the High Elves have literally 0 cavalry, so there's nothing to come back here and threaten the Hell Cannon, so might as well get more infantry up here. Spirit Leech and Tyrion are on top of Archaon, who has all of his buff pops. He's 104 and 84 for melee stats, and Tyrion is at 107 and 120. So even better stats than Archaon still. He is out here fighting, but Archaon's kicking his ass because Tyrion has no buffs to his weapon strength. He has none in his kit, so he still is only swinging at 500 weapon strength, while his opponent is rocking 900. So it's more likely Tyrion will hit, it's less likely he will get hit, but when he gets hit, it fucking hurts. Another Searing Doom is going to punch the Store Riders a little bit, but they'll overall be okay. The Spirit Leech onto Tyrion to match the one that went onto Archaon. And a Fate of Bjuna for the Chaos Knights? Yeah, there it is. That is going to be a beautiful Fate of Bjuna, taking out the real heavy cavalry of the Warriors of Chaos. And they don't have any healing because they didn't bring Festus, so that is unfortunately just going to be the fate of those poor Chaos Knights. Did Archaon get a bunch of healing while I wasn't looking, or did he just not take any damage from Tyrion? What the fuck? Did anybody see that? What happened to him? I swore he had more damage on this than when he left. What the hell? Okay, well, I'm upset now. Archer's getting rear charged by dogs after getting frontal charged by Archaon. They're not going to enjoy that. And Tyrion wants round 2, even though round 1 went real bad for him. Another Spirit Leech onto Archaon is going to take him out a little bit. Tyrion, yeah, he only has 200 value. He didn't hit Archaon somehow, even with all of his juiced up stats. He might have been pushed back by the Chaos Knights or something. Archaon gets a charge back onto Tyrion and a Spirit Leech, 2 hands of death lurking over these combatants. And Tyrion has to be careful. It's the same thing that always happens to him. Does his leadership hold long enough for the Heart of Averlorn healing to proc, or is he just going to rout like a little pussy without getting his massive heal? Without watching just the Lord duel, taking a quick stock of everything else, unfortunately for Chaos, Archaon has been managed fantastically. His cycle charging has been incredible. His dueling has been really, really good. There's the Heart of Averlorn, so Tyrion will stay in the fight for a bit. Anyway, his dueling has been impeccable. The rest of the Chaos army has not been microed to perfection. A lot of that time has been spent on Archaon. So we saw the Skirmish Cab get stuck in melee. Looks like the Skirmish Cab overall have taken a lot of damage. Because I only see 2 of them on the screen right now, and they're super fucked up. I don't even see the others somewhere, which is kind of the point, ain't it? So the High Elves are winning the army fight. Chaos is winning the duel. This is going to be a huge Searing Doom, though. Look at how clumped the Silver Guard are. Even with their magic resist, it's still going to be a painful one. Yeah, goddamn. Another Spirit Leech onto Archie to keep him down. Damage value is about even. It's actually slightly Mr. Teufels's favor, but the balance of power is significantly in the favor of the High Elves. Archaon's back. He's really trying to snipe out Tyrion. Even if he does, I don't know if he can carry this whole game on his back, but that is a good start. That is a good start indeed. And Heart of Averlorn looks like it's not limited in numbers of use, so Tyrion could maybe get another heal again if he gets bursted down. Archaon's currently trying to get out of Silver and Guard. That's definitely hurting him. Chaos Dwarves and their Hell Cannon. The Hell Cannon is broke. It is sad, and now you just have unbreakable meh infantry. Chaos Warriors are doing their best to cleave through infinite High Elves, but it doesn't work that way. Right, basic Spearmen have a higher melee defense, and these guys have melee attacks. And Silver and Guard, don't even get me started. They're going to kick your ass. It's all on Archaon. He's trying to chase around Tyrion. But I don't think it's going to be that easy. Pyramid Company shatter beneath the hooves of the Chaos Knights. 25 models and 800 health. That is like 40 health per model. It's not a lot. It's not a lot of health. Another Spirit Leech onto Archaon, who is really trying to push through and get to Tyrion. He's like, hey! Hey! Pay attention to me! Stand your ground, fight or die. Throwing counters at each other. 104 melee attack versus 96 melee defense. 83 melee attack versus Archaon's 60. But both are still separated by a couple models. They aren't truly dueling just yet. Now the duel has officially begun. And Tyrion can take these shots. Archaon can't. There's another pop at the Heart of Averlorn. Big heal for Tyrion. Keeps him in the fight. And damn, he just follows up with a walloping onto Archaon. Archaon's going to run away now. He takes another shot from Tyrion that makes him rout. He shatters. And without him, the army will fall. High Elves win again. Does Archie have fire resist? No. I don't think he does. Festus is disguised as a tree somewhere healing up Archaon, yeah. Archaon did well. He got 3,000 value. He just couldn't carry the whole game by himself. Chaos Knights got Fate of Bjuna, so they didn't have a good time. Hell Cannon did nicely. Chaos Swords and Halberds did okay. The Marauder Horse Corps did not have a good time. Some of it was misplay. Some of it was just not having any good targets. Because everything you shoot at is either shielded or has frickin' missile resist. So they just didn't have a good matchup, unfortunately. Dogs did okay. Marauders did fine. But Chaos got a little outclassed in that one. For the High Elves, Tyrion didn't get a lot of value, but he tanked a lot of damage. Deathcaster did fantastically. White Lions did fine. Silver and Guard did good work. Archers and Lathern Seaguard did well. Spearmen did well. GG's. Didn't Tyrion only have a one-time Heart of Use in Game 2? Yeah, now it's apparently infinite. GG's, well played. How else are we doing? Boodalicious and VOD Aaron, Fat Kid at Recess, and 80 Ruda. Still technically fighting. I know 80 Ruda might have gone to bed. I don't know where we ended up with that. I'll message Recess. Okay, so 80 Ruta did show up. So we have a room code, just in case they're already in the army building phase. I'm going to throw up a blocker nice and early. It's called Foot Fetish Phantasma. Perfect. The score is 1-1 between these two, so we are entering into the penultimate game. Whoever wins this will go on to fight John F.B. Take a look at the bracket in a second. Okay, so we're right down here. Vet Kid at recess and 80 Ruta. 1-1. Winner will go to the semifinals to fight John. Meanwhile, Boojilicious and Aaron are still fighting it out in the top. Whoever wins that will go fight Hardwrist Warrior. I'm probably going to cast whoever fights John FB, because when I played Hardwrist Warrior alone, there was a bit of lag sometimes. It wasn't terrible, but adding a third person to that is probably not going to be great. So we'll avoid it if we can. And if he goes to finals, then we'll deal with it there. But when I can choose between lag and no lag, I will obviously pick no lag. It's BBB Delicious now. All right. The Dr. BBB Boojilicious. Funny you say that, because Tyranno 2 heal proc is still less HP than Archaon. You didn't have an answer for Staunch Line Spears. Yeah. You unfortunately got a bit of Game 3 gaming a little bit, Mr. Teufel. By having the Chaos Knights with Lances, and you only had one Chaos Knight with Lances, it was a very obvious target what he should fade a Bjuna. So then it was, you have one very good unit, allow me to take it away from you. I don't know. I hope Fate of Bjuna gets nerfed, because it, like, there is this, like, secondary meta that's lurking around the corner where a bunch of Lizardmen players have been telling me about Horned Ones, and they're like, man, Horned Ones are so good if your opponent doesn't bring Fate of Bjuna. We've seen a lot of Depth Guard from Vampire Coast already, but Depth Guard get wrecked by Fate of Bjuna. Swordmasters of Hoeth have been showing up in a couple more builds, but only when your opponent can't possibly bring Fate of Bjuna. So there's like Cold One Dread Knights also get Fate of Bjuna and that kind of thing. So there's like this just beneath the surface, elite units, really elite units are sitting there like, soon. If Fate of Bjuna ever gets nerfed, we're right here. That's been a problem I've been having as Skaven too. Is Fate of Bjuna. It's hard to bring Jezzails or anything more expensive than a 650 Poison Globe, because it's just going to get Fate of Bjuna. Luckily for all of us, Death Magic is one of the rarest forms of magic. Here, I'll show it to you. I'll show you. So let's take a look at the rosters, right? Death Magic is extremely rare. So the Beastmen have it. Demons of Chaos have it, I think. Oh, Demons of Chaos don't have it. Oh, nope, they do. Okay, Demons of Chaos have it. Beastmen have it. Dark Elves have it. Sure. Greenskins have it. All right, High Elves, yeah, they have it. Norsca has it. Nurgle has it. All right, you get that. Slaanesh, I don't think they have it. Empire has it. Tomb Kings have it. Tzeentch? I actually don't know. I don't think they have it. Exciting. Tzeentch does not have it. Coast has it. Counts have it. Where's Chaos? I mean, they have it. Wood Elves don't. I don't think Wood Elves have death. They don't. So it's only on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's only on 12 out of 23 rosters. So it's like, thankfully, it is a super rare Wind of Magic. And yes, that is a joke. It is. I think Shadows is more common, but I think Death is the second most common. After 3.0 kids will have it as well. Is that true? I thought Ulrika was Shadows. If she's Death, that's fucked. Lizardmen have it? Do they have Death magic? I thought Tzeentch also has metal. Tzeentch has metal. He doesn't have Death magic. Swiss Pikeman? Yeah, that was the joke. That tent mechanism sounds exactly like the astromech droid movement in KOTOR games. Slans? There's not a Death Slan. There's not a Death Slan. That's a mod. Lore-wise, they should have it, but they don't. Vampire Counts versus Tomb Kings. Traditionally thought of to be an even matchup, and then in Warhammer 3 with the healing changes, Vampire Counts also got a lot of buffs, and they rapidly outpaced the Tomb Kings, so now this is a tough matchup for the Tomb Kings, but we'll have to see what Fat Kid at Recess is bringing. Don't forget Chaos Dwarves also have Death Magic. That's right. I forgot that was true, and you've reminded me. That is so annoying. It's annoying. Why? Why do Chaos Dwarves need Death Magic? Oh, they're going to be so broken. They're going to be cool, but broken, man. Tzeentch should have all the lores of magic except the... Oh, hey, Dean Shepard. How you doing? The Empire has all the lores for F's sake. Yeah. But the lore of Tzeentch is so good. Why would you bring anything else? Okay. So the Vampire Counts of Ada Ruda. I took down the blocker. Yes, I did. We have a Terrorgeist. The Devils of Schwarzhofen, Vargeist, ROR. A second Terrorgeist. So 2 Terror Gooses. We have a Corpse Cart with the Unholy Lodestone. Heinrich Kemmler on foot. Foot Kemmler. With Krell, Raised Dead, Invocation of Nahek, and Van Hell's Dance Macabre. Kitty Cat wants to get out of the room, so 1 second. Come on. Go. Go. That's a good boy. Doesn't Kairos get Spirit Leech in his next spell book or something? Online, he has Pendulum, Regrowth, Harmonic Convergence, Blue Fire, Tzeentch's Firestorm, and Glean Magic. Anyway, aside from that, we have 4 Graveguard and 4 Zombies. So, a very grind-heavy build. Also a White King. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. If you're going to grind this hard, I'm kind of surprised we don't have a Mortis Engine, but to each their own. You know, aside for the Tomb Kings, we do have Grand Hierophant Kotep on his DJ booth. We have the Chosen of the Gods and another Ushopti Great, but we have 1 Sepulchral Stalker, Necrotect to give some healing to these big constructs, and then a metric fuck ton of Nagar Warriors, some Skeleton Spears, and Skeleton Warriors. Cool, cool. The Terrorgeists are getting awful aggressive so early, and Kotep is trying to 360 no-scope these guys. Bold, he should probably focus on the Graveguard. They are, so one note is these Zombies and Graveguard are advancing too close together, so anything that fires at them is going to get 2 for 1 value, so just a little caution there, but really like the Ushopti Great Push shooting the Devils so Schwarzhofen, that's a good choice. They aren't as good at dodging. Even if they were moving, they aren't as good at dodging as the Terrorgeists are. And the Terrorgeists have self-regen, plus whatever healing Heinrich Kemmler is going to give, so they're just chilling. Chosen of the Gods focusing on the Corpse Cart. It has a passive heal aura and the Vigor Mortis. Perfect Vigor and +5 melee defense and melee attack for anybody around it. Heinrich Kemmler has 2 different healing auras. but neither of them is the same, so taking out that unique healing is pretty good. Terrorgeist and Vargeist have taken a lot of damage, but the Vargeist just going to dive straight in on the Ushabti Great Bows. They will do really well here, and they're going to regen now that they're in combat, because they only get their regen when in melee. So they said, fuck it, we're not going to stay in the sky for much longer, we're just going down. And they're fighting skeletons, but the skeletons are overall pretty meh units. So if these Vargeist get maybe Invocation Heck from Heinrich Kemmler or something, they're going to actually be just fine. But they do need that Invocation Heck. They're getting very low. So I want to see him throw something in that direction. Casket of Souls, hitting the corpse card at point blank range and actually doing a lot of damage to it. All right, I still think that should be shooting at like Graveguard and stuff, but yeah. Oh, you know what could be happening is it's fucking Katep. He could be spamming out spells like Skullstorm. He's just spamming things to stop Kemmler from being able to use any of his spells or to be able to aid the Vargeist in any way. So unless AD Ruta is literally sitting on Kemmler just like spam clicking, he's probably getting set on cooldown a lot. He summons out Krell, but the Devils of Schwarzhofen are already mega fucked. I don't know if he wants to use an Invocation to heck at this point, because they might just, like, as soon as you start healing them, entirely fade away. And there they go. Zombie summon of the Sparkle Stalkers. Krell is out here fighting too, and a White King is pushed to the back. Devils of Schwarzhofen is a nasty loss, but you got into the front line. I mean, like, you know, there's no way of silver lining that. It's a nasty loss, but it happened, and now you have to move on. Zombies and Graveguard are inundating the front line. I wish they were a little more spread out. Because right now, it looks like the zombies are mostly just stopping the Graveguard from getting to the front line. So it's slowing you down, really allowing the Tomb King's time to delay their backline. You usually want to do the staggered, like have a zombie fighting like here and here, have a Graveguard fighting here and like here, and all the rest is wrapping around to get into that backline. But, oh well, that is what it is. The Terror Goose friends are keeping the Ushabti Great Bows a little bit down. Katep tries to help them out. Now, the Chosen of the Gods are not nearly as good at killing single entities as the other Ushabti are. They still do fine, but not as well. So that is pretty good target priority for the Terrorgeist to be on the Ushabti Great Bow that is most threatening to them. Sparkle Stalkers get away from the Zombie Summon and Krell and the White King. Krell and the White King trying to battle through Infinite Skeleton Spearmen. They're not having the best time of that. And we'll see what this Terrorgeist is going to do about the breath attack. He's clearly lining up. He's using it on the Snaky Snakes. Gets a little bit of damage. He's going to have to dive straight into them, though, because he doesn't want to be caught in the air in front of him. Could take a lot of damage doing that. Kemmler and his zombies trying to get through the front line. Doing their best. Terrorgeist is going to dive down past onto the Ushabtis. Avery having a real hard time clearing out this backfield. So that's Terrorgeist for you. They're meant to be duelists, not really crowd clears, and then even then, they're not the best duelists. Ooh, but Krell and Terrorgeist getting onto these Sparkle Stalkers, now that is a good time. They even get a restore to try to keep themselves safe, but it's not gonna be enough versus two Terrorgeists and Krell. Not even close. How's Krell doing? 12 seconds until what? Is he dead in 12 seconds? No. Wait, maybe. Nope, still has 30 seconds left. So Krell's chilling for now. Terror Goose going after Katep, another great choice. And a pretty big scab scrape down the line, but... yeah. Good Terrorgeist target priority so far. Terrorgeists themselves aren't a very good unit, so there's not too much you can do, but at least they're targeting the right stuff and just sitting in spears and whatever. They're usually going after things. Frontline has broken for the Tomb Kings in a couple areas. The Vampire Counts are going to have to be quick about running them forward and really harassing these Ushabti and really harassing Katep. But it looks like they are caught a little bit asleep at the wheel and getting a 4-for-1 casket shot into them. Brutal stuff. Krell has faded away. One of the Terrorgeists has died. And the counts are down on the balance of power. Ushabti Summon is out for Fat Kid at recess. Holding up that balance of power a little artificially. But these zombies and Graveguard do have to get orders to move up. Looks like they just haven't realized they've won that fight yet. Another really good shot. Ugh. Please move them. Terror Goose chasing down Ushabtis. White King still harassing the Sparkle Stalker, still chasing them around. Chosen of the Gods running danger low on ammunition shooting at this Terrorgeist. And they're doing okay damage, but if you can kill this Ushabti that actually has all the ammunition, then what's left is a mediocre melee combatant. These undead have awoken. They realize they need to move up. Kemmler's almost heal capped. What the fuck? What happened to him? Just not having a good time in the Nekar Warriors, I guess. Good lord. Okay, Kemler. Terrorgeist trying to hang on long enough to officially finish the Ushapti. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case, though. He is probably going to run out of health first. Chosen the Gods are now beset by zombies. They don't care about that too much. And another Skullstorm is now ripping through Kemler's forces. Not something you're used to saying out loud, but here we are. Corpse Cart's about to fade away. Terrorgeist is gone, but the Ushapti Grapples have taken such damage that they are just going to crumble on their own. So a little win for the Vampire Counts when they really needed one. The frontline fight isn't going as one-sided as they had hoped. It looks like Katep has killed an awful lot of things, and he keeps getting more kills. 250 kills on that guy. God damn. Ushapti did finally fade away. But Sparkle Stalker shooting poor little Foot Kemler in the face. Chosen of the Gods using last their ammunition to get rid of these Graveguard and get rid of them. They shall. The Corpse Card is officially gone, and army losses hits. The Tomb Kings will stand triumphant. In campaign, you can't get a whole Lore of Heaven Salon? Why? That's dumb. Lore of Heavens is like the best one for campaign. I thought there was a high magic salon. It's Mazdamundi. Mazdamundi has the only high magic. All right, Katep, good value, good stuff, good supporting. Chosen Gods 2,800 value. Necrotect 1,000, interestingly enough. Other Ushapti and other Sparkstalker about 1,100 each. Nekar Warriors did great against Graveguard. They did actually very nicely, so good for them. On the other side, Heinrich Kemmler, his Terrorgeist. His Terrorgeist did all right. Devils of Schwarzhofen unfortunately got wrecked. White King did well. Graveguard mixed. They killed a lot of stuff. They just didn't kill it fast enough. Zombies did fine too, but I think this build could have benefited from some Blood Knights instead of the Terrorgeist. Blood Knights just kill stuff faster. Yeah. GG's. GG's. Crypt Horrors are also mega strong. Should I join your lobby? Probably Fat Kid at Recess's lobby, probably. It's a generic high magic salon in multiplayer. Oh yeah, the Blueberry Salon. You're right. You're right, there is. I don't know why I went to quest battles. That was a misclick. That's my bad. Fuck, I did it again. I'm so sorry. Yeah. So Heaven's high, life, light. Cool. Five seems like a weird number of lures. I don't know why I thought there would be another one. Y'all are strange. Also, I meant to click multiplayer and misclicked on Skirmish for CI. So I guess I'm just shit now. Alright. We'll get John FB in here. Oh, Baruda's still here. Wrong person. But I also have to start the other tournament if there is another tournament to start. Ha! That's pretty funny. So I'm working on what to do with the Stormburn through Grace here tournament. We had 6 people sign up at one point. 2 dropped out. including myself, because I'm busy casting this one. Cool Umbrella can't play, so it's just Raced and Sabrus. Sorry, just doing some stuff. Sorry, the only other thing. Okay. So the other tournament is blockers up. Good. The other tournament ended up having 2 people. So they just immediately proceeded to finals. I asked them for their replays so we can cast those at the end of El Streamo. Okay. Cool. Sorry. I had to do a bunch of admin stuff. I've seen that too for a long time historically, like Life Bloom and such being better on wide builds. No point in making Heaven or Beast Slan since Skink Priests cover those lores. That's true, but Slans are cool looking. Best of 7 there, best of 9. Race is in Europe, and Race is like, dude, I just want to go to bed. Let's cast that Race versus Sabrus game. I asked them to send me their replays. Because I don't want to make them wait for this whole tournament to finish just so they can play one best of 3. But I do want to cast their games, so they'll send me replays. Seb Holloway. Need to get on some tournaments soon, but need to improve my micro knowledge somewhat. I'm in the training phase. Seb, and for other people like Seb, and I know VOD Aaron was out there somewhere, let me take you to a place. So if you go to the Under Empire, it's my Discord, which is in the description of this video. We do have a Hell Pit thing that Cuden, one of my admins, is trying to set up a new player league. He's been sick. I've been sick, so we've had shit going on. But what there is here, while we set up the league, is there's a Rat Ogre role. You can get this role, and it just marks you as a new player. And it gives you access to this chat where you can ping other newer players. And like, I'm not going to actually ping them, but you could go Rat Ogre. You can say, hey, Rat Ogre, looking for new players to play with. So you can ping a bunch of other newer players. You can also go to the best of one practice pit where it's just like it matches you with people. It's been pretty quiet. Again, Chaos Dwarves is coming and new people are signing up, but it has been pretty quiet. But you can play that. It's not as oppressing as the Vermin League could be, where it's like best of 3 and you have to play a bunch of different factions and everybody's a sweaty tryhard. It's like, again, only new players have access to this chat, so it's fine. And also we have curated a list of coaches, quote unquote, but it's more of just people where if you have a Beastmen question, you can go to this page and you can click on one of these 3 people and say, hey, I had a question about Beastmen versus Dark Elves. What do you do about Hydras? And that person, the reason they're on that list at all is because they agreed to answer questions like that. So if you are looking for a good resource, that is a good place to go. There's no pressure. If you don't want to get pinged, you can either mute this chat and still have the role, or you can opt to not get the role. That's also fine. Just offering it to you. But there are places to try out new players. This Discord has a lot of tournament stuff on it. It has the Vermin League and whatever, but if you're not quite ready for that yet, but you're getting sick of quick battles are great for learning the ropes, but sometimes it can get a little old when you run into certain people who don't want to have fun, who just want to be dicks. So at least you can have some games with people who agree not to be dicks, and if they are going to be dicks, they won't be here for very long, so they won't be your problem. Anyway, that's my pitch, so feel free to stop on by. And if you don't like it, you can always leave, so it's not like, we're not asking for money, we're not requiring you to do anything, so might as well give it a shot. If you don't like it, you don't like it. That's fine. And that got us through the pick ban phase. We're into game 1. Dark Elves versus Khorne. Oh, God. That sounds really bad for Khorne. Bring Larry. Okay, you guys are arguing about High Elf stuff. From your Discord already, it makes it a bit easier. Thanks. Didn't know that. Anytime, Seb. It's relatively new, like we did in the last couple months. We've been trying to set up some stuff that'll be fun and exciting when Chaos Dwarves are out and like a bunch of new players come back. Because the scene was alive. We had players around, but it was the same like 20, 25 players we were seeing all the time. So it's hard to put a ton of energy into something that there's just not enough people to populate yet. All right. I'm done answering messages. I am now fully focused on this stream. Fully aware. We have triple Chaos Furies of Khorne, Valkia the Bloody, with Gaze of Khorne. Ooh. Scarlet Armor. Okay, I don't love the Scarlet Armor. Spear Sleipnir and the Demon Shield. I guess the Scarlet Armor actually might be pretty easy to charge up with the Spear Sleipnir. Okay, I don't hate it that much. I still wouldn't take it, but it's not the worst thing in the world. 2 Minor Shards of Great Weapons. They're anti-large. A front line of Marauders of Khorne. A secondary line of Chaos Warriors of Khorne. All 4 of them with halberds. God damn. Okay. not fucking around, I guess. The other side for the Dark Elves. Black Arc Corsairs mixed with Bleak Swords, mixed with Dread Spears. We have triple Dark Shard. Nope, double Dark Shard. Double Dark Shard in the back. One of his shields. I don't know why, because Khorne has no range to threaten you, so the shields do feel a bit silly, in my opinion. We have triple Cold One Knight, one Witch Elf, and the Hellebronite Dread Spears. We also have a Sorceress of Death with Fate of Good Times and Spirit Leech. We have a Canid Assassin. Ooh, hello. Canid Assassin's with Assassin's Trophy, Black Lotus, Web of Shadows. Yeah, pretty nice. And Malice Darkblade. He'll do okay. I think this build could be a little scarier with some Scourge-Ridden Chariots instead of the Canid Assassin. Because Scourge-Ridders are so hard, man. They're so hard for Khorne to deal with. Otherwise, it's fine. This is generally the stuff that makes this matchup tough for Khorne. Witch Elves with their Rampage and debuff is hard. You have armor-piercing missiles that are relatively cheap. Your frontline holds because they're elves. They have high leadership. Pretty good Lord options. Though I would have guessed to see Malekith, not Malice. Maybe Malice is a little less susceptible to getting surrounded by Minotaurs. Because if Malekith lands, he's going to get those Minotaurs on him. Cold Knights on paper are good, but I'm starting to really sour on this unit. I'm starting to think the Cold Knights aren't worth it. They're armor-piercing anti-large, but their stats are just so low. I don't know. I'm starting to hate on them. They do look cool, though. God, they look cool. It stops being fun if you have to play against the average quick battle player. Yeah, I'm just trying, like, I don't like quick battles personally, but I'm not trying to be a hater, because I know there's tons of people that have a good time with quick battles, and just because I'm not one of them, I don't want to, like, be a salty Sally and just be like, no one has fun on quick battles. Because I think Knighthood, you play, like, a shit ton of quick battles, right? So, and he seems to be having a good time. The Marauders are starting to fill the front line. I've been getting this map's dark version a lot. I kind of like the lighter version so I can see what the hell's going on. But the Spear Sloupnir is going to delete an entire Dark Shard. Oh, the damage. Yep, they're shocked down to negative 55 leadership. Oh, they rally at 3. They're hanging in there, though the Furies, if the Furies even look at them, it's going to be over. Minotaurs plowing into these Bleak Swords. Can't see shit out here at nighttime, but I do see a lot of dying elves. And the Bleak Sword front line just entirely falls apart. Malice is taking the fight. Demon's Curse plus the Assassin's Trophy making her only have 70 melee defense, but that Demon Shield is eating the Web of Shadows. It's eating all that damage right now, so really good Web of Shadows timing. And the Dark Elves are looking a little in distress. Sorceress of Death is caught up in the Furies. Cold One Knight's diving in to try and save her from the Minotaurs, but the Minotaurs are here, and if they even get a couple of good shots on her, that Sorceress is actually going to die. Cold One Knights are swamping their own backline to peel off the Furies, and they are getting a lot of damage out. Oh, and the Demon's Curse, minus 10 leadership on Furies is brutal. It takes them down to that disintegration so fast, and all the Furies are already dying. Well, not all the Furies, 2 out of 3. Malice is at half HP, but the Demon Shield is off, and the Madness of Cain is upon Valkia. If she gets one more hit in on her from Malice, she's going to Rampage, and that could be a really bad time for her. Fate of Bjuna is hitting some Chaos Warriors with Halberds. It's a pretty good target. Minotaurs don't take the most damage from that kind of spell, because you need like a certain amount of models, and they just have too low of models for the Fate of Bjuna to really fuck them up too bad. One Dark Shard has been saved, but man, for how long? Khorne is still closing in on all sides, but the Minotaurs are getting pushed off, so are the Marauders that have penetrated the backfield. The Dark Elves got pushed up against the wall very quickly in this game, but they did put their backs to that wall, and they are holding. Where is the second Minotaur unit? Did I miss it entirely? Because one's running off there, but where did the other one go? Oh, it's full health. It got forgotten on the side. Not forgotten. It was chasing Shattered Bleak Swords. It's coming back now with a Vengeance at full HP, but Khorne is going to be kicking themselves a little bit for that. Malice has taken a lot of damage, but so has Valkia. Valkia needs to leave. She doesn't get healing like Malice does, and there's the second Rampage. She's stuck in it now with Assassin's Trophy on her at 26 melee defense. This might be the end of Valkia as we know it, and Malice might get a transformation soon. But all is not over for Khorne. Malice taking this much damage this early is pretty problematic for them. If he transforms into Jazarkan, he'll start slowly getting eaten away. And if, ooh, Sword of Khorne, Sword of Khorne, Sword of Khorne! Give me the Sword of Khorne! Oh, the violence. Oh, the violencing. But Dark Elves being Dark Elves actually just chilling on leadership after getting hit from the skies by a Sword of Khorne. Anyway, what I was going to say is If Malekith transforms into Zarkan, if he gets surrounded by Minotaurs, he could take a lot of damage and just bleed out. Valkia routes, which does actually free her from her clutches of Rampage, getting her out of there. And Khorne is starting to fall behind. I do tend to agree. Cold Knight's doing some good work on these Minotaurs. Even though there are Chaos Warriors with halberds nearby, looks like the Cold Knights just aren't taking that much damage. And they're going to be fine. Khorne's infantry is still around. Khorne's infantry is still pulling forward, but infantry means nothing to Malice. Malice can actually clear a lot of it. Not all single entities are very good at killing infantry, but Malice / Tazarkand is one of the few. So things are looking good. Excuse me. Still, like, I feel mostly better from COVID, but my voice is still a little fucked. We should have another Spear Sleipnir, right? Yeah, we do have another Spear Sleipnir. I wonder where it'll get used. Maybe you should use it on some infantry because it does a lot of damage to infantry. And the Colton Knights, while they are scary, that's a lot of halberds. So if you get rid of any infantry support and force cavalry to deal with them, that's actually going to be just fine. Spear Leech is coming in. We need Demon Shield or we need the Spear immediately. Can Valkia do it? Can she get off that Spear before she dies? No. Valkia is down. And that tanks Khorne's leadership as well, which is a huge problem. Witch Elves taking these halberds down to 13 melee defense with the Demon's Curse plus their... Rampage little Witch Elf debuff. If Malice transforms right now into Zarkan, it's actually going to go into army losses, so tactically the Dark Elves might want to do that. Because the balance of power is ridiculously against Khorne at this point. Like, it's looking bad for Khorne, but it's not over just yet. The balance of power seems to think it is. So if you get a full health Zarkan all of a sudden, that'll tip the balance of power into army losses and just win right there. But it looks like they may not even need it, as these last two guys are going to rout, and when they rout, that means everything's routing, and then the game is just over by default. Routing and shattered. GG Khorne. Maybe Grand Cathay players will be happy about that. Yeah. I don't know about Cathay. I keep flip-flopping between, oh, they're not that bad, to never mind, fuck this faction, it's cancer. So I don't know. Golden Knights did really well. They were nicely handled. Countercharging things rather than just taking a fight all on their own. Infantry, mixed value, but overall fine. Kenny Assassin did well. Deathcaster did well, and Malice did just dandy. Valkia also got pretty good value. Minotaurs struggled to get their value back a little bit. Chaos Warriors with Halberds, overall doing nicely. Chaos Furies did okay, and Marauders did okay. The armies traded all right. The problem was just Malice outdid Valkia by quite a decent margin. So, yeah. Damn. GG. GG. I think the balance power was a little overambitious, though. Because the Halberds still had a lot of health left. Now, they did rout, for sure. And they lost. Right, I got that. But if you take Malice out, and if those guys didn't rout, like, the only healthy units the Dark Elves had left were 3 Coldwell Knights that would just be running over and over into Halberds. So they would have gotten killed pretty quickly, leaving Malice all alone. So, if Valkia had been able to get off that last spear or something. One does not simply duel Malice Darkblade. It's tough, though. It's a tough matchup for Khorne. Assassin versus Khorne. What's the value there? I was using Assassin's Trophy to debuff Valkia. And he used the Black Lotus leadership debuff to hurt the Furies. Get them to crumble even faster. And then he used Web of Shadows like a pseudo Soul Stealer. That's the reasoning. I don't agree with it. I don't think the Assassin was a great choice there personally. But that's like the reasoning. Blood Penguin is sad. He arrived home a little too late to kick ass and take names in the tournament. John FB switches over to Skaven. Why are you playing a poo-poo dog shit faction in a tournament? Boo. Also, we have 50 viewers in NA Nighttime.